Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today we're going to be taking a look at all of the books that I had listed as anticipated reads in the last 4 years. I have a video coming out very soon, which is talking about my anticipated reads for January, February, and March. But I thought before I post that, let's take a look back. How good am I at reading my anticipated reads? Am I still interested in them? Let's just see what we've got. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up my spreadsheet because I do keep a spreadsheet. I have kept a spreadsheet since 2021 of all the books coming out that are anticipated. And we're going to see that starting in 2021, I believe the majority of them will have been read, but then that number gets smaller and smaller. So we're going to take a look at it together. Starting right off in 2021. So I do divide each spreadsheet into quarters. So I have like that dark line separating the quarters. So you could see here in the first quarter, I read all but one of my anticipated reads. And honestly, I think I'm going to be unhauling I read Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Kelly, but I've not read the sequel or Sunflowers. There's two others, and I think I'm just going to unhaul them because my desire to read them has gone downhill, and I haven't heard wonderful things about them. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as unhaul. I'm just going to say it now. So there we go. All of the first quarter books are accounted for. Let's see on the second quarter here. Girls in the Stilt House. I'm still very much interested in that one. Rumasia is a middle grade fairy tale retelling. I'm still going to keep that one on there. And then Luck of the Titanic is a YA Titanic story that I am interested in, about a brother and sister who are acrobats, and then they're on the Titanic. One of them is a stowaway, I believe, and the other had a job on the Titanic. So other than those three, I did pretty good reading. I did unhaul or DNF that thing about Bollywood. Pretty good. So we now have 3 of the list that are not read. Third quarter, we have quite a few more. The different colors. So you see yellow is, I think, 2022. And then purple is a different year. All my different colors represent different years, and I can't remember what they are now. But in the third quarter, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I haven't read. And honestly, I'm still interested in them, and I think most of them are NetGalley books. 3 Words for Goodbye I own. That's a Hazel Gaynor book. I would like to read that because I want to read her to zero. The Night We Burned, I've talked about a couple times on TBRs this year. I just didn't get to it. I did read Lightning Strike this year. Oranges 2024. And then a couple more. The Bones of Ruin, Slow March of Light, and A Terrible Tide. So a few more there. And then in this last quarter of 2021, The Vanished Days is a Susanna Kearsley. Definitely going to read that. Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I'm not as eager to read as I was when it was first coming out, but I probably will still read it at some point. I don't know if it's the beginning of a series or not. I know it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I'm interested. By the Light of Fireflies is a middle grade. Call Us What We Carry is a book of poetry. And The Spanish Daughter historical. So in 2021, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books that I haven't read yet. I'm going to write that down because we're going to see how we go as it moves forward. So let's move to 2022. I DNF'd Serendipity. I read 2 of them this year, Last House on the Street and The Diamond Eye. I just have 1 left from first quarter, The Bright Side Running Club. 2 left from the second quarter, The Mayfair Bookshop and A Secret Princess. I own both of those. So that's pretty good. I read a few of these this year. So that's 3. And then we have just 1 more here. So that's 4 altogether. Orphans of Mercy House. And then a bunch this last quarter. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, 10. Not bad. Let's see what's left on this one. The Whalebone Theater, still interested in that one. House of Lost Wives is a historical mystery that I would like to read. When We Had Wings is Susan Meissner, Ariel Lahan, and I forget who else. Christina McMorris. All 3 are historical fiction authors that I really enjoy. Gleanings is a short story collection for the Scythe trilogy. Again, I'm not super interested in that one right now. I don't read a lot of short stories. Actually, I can also take off The Astonishing Chronicles of Oscar or whatever from Jacqueline Moriarty. I've decided to DNF that series, and it is like book 3 in the series. So I'm putting that one as a DNF or unhaul from the list. So it's actually only 9. The Light Pirate is like a dystopian climate fiction type of a book. So only 9 left for 2022. That's not bad. In 2023, we're going to have a lot on here because now we're getting closer to current day, and there's a lot more that need to get read. Bandit Queen's definitely still interested in, as well as Exiles, Codename Sapphire, The Love Scribe, House of Eve. I really want to read. I've heard so much good about that. Molly Greeley is an author that I would love to read. We've got Marvelous there. Diane Zahler's Wild Bird is a middle grade historical fiction. Murder and Postscript is a historical mystery. I did find that at a McKay's earlier this summer, so I have that on my shelves now. Last Heir to Blackwood Library, Vanishing at Castle Moreau, Home for Wayward Girls, Homecoming, Symphony of Secrets, and Mastering the Art of French Murder. All of those I'm very much still interested in reading. So I picked good books because I definitely want to read them all. No Two Persons. I can't believe I haven't read that yet. Museum of Ordinary People by Mike Gale. I loved him in the past. Leave It to the March Sisters. I'm not as interested in that one. Like a Little Women retelling, and I haven't had the best luck with those. So I'm not sure about that one. I might take that one off actually. Because I've decided this year that Little Women is not my favorite, so why do I think I'm going to like the retellings of it? So I'm going to take that one off. The Paris Daughter, I'm interested. Kristen Harmel. A Shadow of Moscow, Catherine Ray, definitely want to read that. The Fiona Davis, The Spectacular by her, definitely interested in that one. Housekeepers by Alex Hay, I've not heard much about, so I'm not sure if I'm still interested in that. Thief, Liar, Lady, The Queen of the Valley, Nothing Else But Miracles, The River We Remember, Pomegranate Gate, Murder at the Merton Library. All of those still appeal to me. And then the final quarter of 2023, we've got The Refugee Ocean, Lost Boys of Barlow Theater, Holiday Mix-Up. Oh, I should read that one. It's like holiday time right now. Sweetness All Around, Song of the Swan. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's a Swan Lake retelling. What the River Knows, Again and Again, and The Fairy Tale Life of Dorothy Gale, and Meet the Benedettos. So I'm definitely still interested in all of those. So in 2023, we have 34, I think I counted wrong, but about 34 books on this total list that I haven't read. But look at all of these orange are ones that I read this year. Blue are ones that I read in 2023. So I did pretty good with reading them in the year and the following year. So now we're going to take a look at 2024. So altogether, I have 50 books that were anticipated reads spread out over the 4 quarters. And I've read only 13 of them so far. So that leaves 37 unread. But I have a feeling I will read a lot of them next year because a lot of them are on my shelves. But here's just a review of what I was anticipating that I haven't yet read. Foxwife, I have from Book of the Month. Phoenix Crown, I own that one now. Hidden Life of Cecily Larson, I'm not sure I'm as interested in that one. It's a circus book with an orphan main character. I kind of am interested, but I haven't really heard too many people talking about it. I could probably take that one off, actually. You know what? Let's do that. Let's minimize this list. Be ruthless. The Day Tripper, also a kind of strange book, sci-fi, kind of like a Una Out of Order, where he lives his life out of order. Like each day is from a different year. Am I as interested in that one anymore? Not really. I'm going to go ahead and put that one gray too. If I end up reading it someday, but it won't be a priority. How to Solve Your Own Murder. I would love to read that one. The Trail of Lost Hearts is by Tracy Garvis Graves, and I really would like to read that one as well. Table for Two I have from Book of the Month. Short Stories by Amor Tolls. All We Were Promised, I also have from Book of the Month by Ashton Lattimore, historical fiction. British Booksellers is a historical fiction by Christy Cambrin. Definitely interested in that one. Better Left Unsent is by Leah Lewis. Romance kind of book. Shelterwood I have from Book of the Month. Definitely going to read that one. The Girl Who Kept the Castle I have on NetGalley. And Ryan Groudon is an author that I have loved by the Wolf by Wolf duology. This is a middle grade by her, so I'm very interested in that one. And The Nature of Disappearing is by Kimmy Cunningham Grant, who wrote These Silent Woods, that I absolutely loved last year. So I'm very curious to see if that was a one-off or if I'm going to like more books by her. We'll see. All This and More is by Peng Shepherd. And I'm not sure I'm interested in this anymore. After hearing the girls from the Women from Currently Reading podcast talk about this one, I'm still going to keep it on here because I'm curious about it still. The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer, another book of the month that I have and I'm very excited to read. I just bought Not Nothing from Barnes & Noble not that long ago, middle grade. Jupiter Rising is a sequel to Orbiting Jupiter, which I absolutely loved earlier this year, so I would love to read the sequel. The Book Swap is a romance by Tessa Bickers. I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm curious. Book Lover's Library by Madeline Martin. Sneak peek into a future haul. I just received that as a Christmas gift, so I now have that on my shelves. Strange Thing Happened in Cherry Hall is Jasmine Warga, and I love her. I loved The Rover Story. I love Other Words for Home. I love The Shape of Thunder. I love her writing and absolutely want to still read A Strange Thing Happened in Cherry Hall. We Solve Murders is a new mystery series by Richard Osman that I would like to start. When We Flew Away by Alice Hoffman is kind of like what was Anne Frank's life before the diaries. Like we all know the Anne Frank diaries, the Diary of Anne Frank, excuse me. But this is an imagining of her life before then. So it's historical fiction. And then The Last Secret by Maya Cannon is a historical, this one takes place in the Ukraine. So I am still interested in that one. And then I haven't read any from this last quarter, but we're still in the last quarter right now. So a lot of these are brand new releases, but I have a few on my shelves. Spectres in the Glass House. I have The Mistletoe Mystery, The Bletchley Riddle. Brave by Misu Andrews is a biblical fiction. So I have a few of them already on my shelves. Oh, and I just bought Unraveled, which is the new Keeper of the Lost Cities book. So I can make that gray because I own that one too. Christmas with the Queen I currently have out from the library, but I'm probably not going to get to it. So that is just a look. I have a lot. 36. I took one off. 36 books to still read for 2024. 34 books to still read from last year. 9 from 2022. I'm doing really good with those ones. And then only 10 from 2021. So I didn't do percentages or all of that. I just wanted to take a quick look at my previous year's anticipated reads lists and see if I actually read them. And I do, not always necessarily right away when they first come out, but I would like to get even closer to that because most of these I request on NetGalley if they're available. Actually, all of them, I think. Like the majority of my NetGalley list are books that are on this list as well that I just showed you, because I request, if they're available, all of my anticipated reads. And that's almost all that I request on NetGalley. I try not to do random stuff. I try to overlap so that if I read a NetGalley book, I can also cross it off this list as well, because I love a spreadsheet and I love crossing things off, highlighting them different colors. So stay tuned for my first set of books for the first quarter of 2025 and what I'm anticipating. And I would love to hear, first of all, do you take note of anticipated reads? Like, do you take note of what's coming out soon? Do you pre-order? Do you request them on NetGalley or other places? Or do you just make a note of them on your lists or on your want to read list on Goodreads or anything like that? And do you track if you've read them or not? I would love to hear. Everyone is not as crazy with spreadsheets as I am, and I understand that, and that's fine. But it is kind of fun to take a look and see how I've been doing. Some years pretty good, but by the end of 2025, hopefully those 2023 and 2024 lists will look a little bit more colorful as I fill them in throughout the year. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. If you have watched but you don't have anything to really add or want to say, go ahead and put a little gift emoji in the comments, just because your presence is a gift to me. Just you being here is so important and so meaningful, and why I do this. So I would love to know if you were here watching. Go ahead and put a little present emoji in the comments. Thank you so much. And thanks for being here, spending a few minutes of your day with me. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to chatting with you in another video very soon. Bye.